6, Mr Speaker.
Minister.
We have made improvements to reduce assessments of work capability and personal independence payments. This includes reducing review frequency for pensioners and people with severe or progressive conditions. We are also exploring our manifesto commitment to ensure a minimum award review duration for PIP awards.
Mark Pauls.
I'm grateful to the Minister for his remarks, but can I tell him about a constituent I met just recently who suffers from a progressive condition, who was very bothered about the frequency with which she was required to provide often the same information on a form that's both lengthy and complex. I wonder whether the Minister agrees with me that once an award has been made, the frequency of assessment should be reduced, and I wonder whether that might be considered in the forthcoming Green Paper.
Minister.
I thank my honourable friend who has worked hard in this area for a number of years, and absolutely as part of the forthcoming Green Paper we will be looking at how we can better use evidence, how we can continue to improve the claimant's experience, and looking through the integrated assessment principle we can make sure that we reduce the need for unnecessary face-to-face assessments.
Marcia de Cordova.
Thank you, Mr Speaker. In its National Disability Strategy, this government finally recognises that the assessment process for PIP and DSA is burdensome for disabled people. Given that the government now admits to the failures of these assessments, and given the mental distress that they have caused, that over 70% of decisions brought to appeal tribunal are overturned, and thousands of disabled people have died after being found fit for work. So will the Minister do more than lessen the number of reassessments and scrap, once and for all, these unfit for purpose assessment frameworks for ESA and PIP?
Minister.
Well, I thank the honourable member, whilst calling for something to be scrapped, not actually setting out what the alternative would be. And we do recognise that when Labour introduced the work capability assessment, it did need significant improvement, which is why we had the 5 independent reviews and implemented over 100 recommendations. And we are now exceeding 92% claimant satisfaction for the work capability assessment, and 82% of PIP claimants are also satisfied with the service they get, which is why, as a government, we are proud to now spend an additional £10 billion per year supporting those with disabilities and long-term health conditions.
Steve Double.
Thank you, Mr Speaker. I often have constituents come to see me who suffer from ongoing conditions that might be considered invisible disabilities. They tell me that they don't feel that the assessment process as it currently stands accurately captures the conditions that they suffer with. So would the Minister continue to keep the assessment process under review to ensure that it is fit for purpose in assessing people with invisible disabilities?
I thank my honourable friend, and he's absolutely right. And as we've seen under PIP, 32% of claimants now access the highest rate of support compared to just 15% under DLA. And it's actually hidden disabilities that have seen the most significant growth. For example, with mental health, it is now 33% of claimants will get the highest rate compared to just 6%. That's 5 times less in the legacy benefits.